Hello everyone. Today we will be studying about how commercial bank creates money and how money multiplies. Firstly, we will start with a simple deposit multiplier and then I will relaxing these assumptions and moving upon to a different model, a more advanced model. So firstly, our basic assumptions are that all deposits are checkable deposits. That means we are not considering time deposits here. So all deposits are checkable deposits. The reserve requirement is fixed proportion of the deposits. यानी जो रिजर्व रिक्वायरमेंट है जो आरबीआई कहता है बैंक्स को अपने पास सेव करने के लिए, ठीक है, दैट इज अ फिक्स्ड रिक्वायरमेंट. So reserve requirement is fixed proportion of the deposits. Deposits are only form of money. We are not considering that cash is any possibility here. So people are not keeping cash. So we are assuming that currency holding with the public is zero. Banks do not want to hold any excess reserves. That means excess reserves are equal to zero. So these are the basic assumptions in our simple deposit multiplier model, and we will be relaxing these assumptions, some of these assumptions, to develop a advanced model. Now, for understanding it in more detail, let's move on to a basic example. Suppose this lady deposits 100 rupee in bank, and assuming that RBI's required reserves are 20%. So according to this, 20% of 100 banks keep with itself. So 20 rupees banks keep with himself and lend 80 rupees to this person. ठीक है, so there is a person A जिसको बैंक ने लोन दिया है 80 रुपीज का. नाउ पर्सन ए ने पर्सन बी से कोई सामान खरीदा और इसको 80 रुपीज दे दिए. नाउ दिस पर्सन बी वेंट टू बैंक एंड डिपॉजिट्स 80 रुपीज. नाउ आप लोगों को लगेगा कि ऐसा क्यों, इसने कुछ पैसे अपने पास में क्यों नहीं रखे? बिकॉज वी हैव ऑलरेडी अज्यूम्ड दैट कैश holding or currency holding with public is zero. So he deposits all the money he get into the bank only. Now, as 80 rupees is new deposits in the eye of bank, so bank will keep 20% of 80 rupees with himself and lend the rest of the amount to another person. So bank keeps 20% of 80, bank keeps 20% of 80, which is 16 rupees with himself, and lend rest of the amount to this person. So it is 64 rupees is given as loan. Then this person buys something from this person and this person deposits 64 rupees in the bank. And this cycle will keep on going until there is nothing left for bank to give as loan. So additional loan generation becomes zero. Till that point, bank will keep on generating loans. Okay, now just study this in a form of tabular thing. Now assume that deposits, reserves, and loan. So whatever comes into bank in the form of deposit, bank can either keep it as reserve or give loan from it. So let's assume for 1 rupee come into bank. Okay, so if 1 rupee come as deposits, bank keeps required reserves as reserves, because we are also assuming that excess reserve is equals to zero. So banks keep RR as reserves and loan out the excess amount. So if 1 रुपी में से हमने RR यानी रिक्वायर्ड रिजर्व अगर लोन दे दिया है तो 1 minus RR is left as in the form of loan. Okay, so 1 minus RR, then again come to bank, and this is our new deposits. Then in the new cycle, bank keeps required percentage of this amount of deposits and give loan from the rest of the amount. Now this amount comes back to the loan deposits. So this will be 1 minus RR square and so on. 1 minus RR square RR percentage and 1 minus RR percentage of 1 minus RR square, and in the next time period this amount, this is nothing but 1 minus RR cube, this amount comes here and so on. Okay, so this cycle will go on until the additional loan generation becomes zero. Okay, so now we can also write what will be the change in deposits, what will be the total deposits. Okay, what is overall deposits is 1 plus 1 minus RR plus 1 minus RR square plus 1 minus RR cube and so on till infinite time period. So if you go on to see a sum of GP, this is a GP. Okay, so this is 1 multiplied by 1 minus RR, then again multiplying 1 minus RR. So this is a GP, and sum of GP in infinite time period is 1 upon 1 minus that product, which is 1 minus RR in this case. So I will be solving this 1 minus 1 plus RR, which is 1 upon RR, which is nothing but RR was my required reserve ratio. So this is my money multiplier if I derive it in this manner. So my simple deposit multiplier is 1 upon required reserve ratio. Now, if I consider the earlier example where I say that there is an initial change in reserves. So this is my initial change in reserves or additional deposits in the banking system is equal to rupees 100. And I also know that my required reserve ratio is 20%. So as per this formula, what would be my change in deposits due to the change in initial reserves, which will be 1 upon RR. This is 1 upon 20%, which is 5. And I know this is equals to 100. And when this goes here, so this gives me my change in deposits, overall change in deposits is 500 rupees. Okay, so this change, if I consider here, is 110 की जगह 1 की जगह मैं 100 ले लूँ. So overall this sum would be 500 rupees. Okay. So now, so this was my simple deposit multiplier case where I assumed that there is currency is 0 and excess reserve is also 0. Now I will relax some of the assumptions and develop a higher model. Here we are assuming a general model of money supply where my first assumption is bank holds currency as well as deposits, so that the total money stock M is sum of the currency and deposits. So I am writing that M is equals to C plus D, where my M is money stock or money supply, C is currency, and D is my deposits, my overall deposits. Here I am not relaxing that assumption which says that demand deposits are the only deposits. I'm again considering that demand deposits are the only deposits. I'm not considering time deposits into this model. So this is my first assumption. Then next is public desire to hold currency as a proportion of deposits. So currency I assumed as C, deposit is D. So I'm assuming that currency is a percentage of my deposits. Okay, and where this C is desired currency to deposit ratio. Okay, so how much percentage of deposit is kept as currency, is kept in the form of currency. Now, my next assumption is banks are legally mandated to keep a proportion of deposits as reserves, which is required reserves. Okay, so bank have to keep something in the form of required reserve. So that required reserve is also a proportion of their deposits. So it is some proportion of overall deposit, and this proportion is known as required reserve ratio. That percentage of deposit which bank has to keep in form of required reserves, in the form of reserves. Now, bank can also hold reserve in addition to required reserve. Required reserve के अलावा भी बैंक कुछ reserves रख सकते हैं, और उस reserves को हम denote कर रहे हैं excess reserves की form में, which is ER. So I am saying that ER is also a proportion of my overall deposits in the bank, and that ED is my desired excess reserve ratio. Now you can see that in this definition I used desired. This here also I am using desired, but here I am using required, because this is and this is depends upon bank or individual's will, whereas this is required by RBI, which is compulsory, they have to keep it in that form. So मैंने उस condition को 1 दिया था, this is second, this is third, and this is fourth. Now with the help of condition 2 and 3, condition 2, 3 and 4 implies that R is equals to RR plus ER. My overall reserves can be in form of required reserves or excess reserves, which is RRD plus EDD. I'm taking this using equation 3 and equation 4, this, and so my overall reserves is equals to RR plus ED into D. Okay, now as I've derived what is my condition for RR, now I will be looking at what is my monetary base. Monetary base क्या है? So the total existing assets which either are or potentially could be used as reserves by the banking system are known as monetary base, and I denote monetary base with MB. So MB is equal to currency plus reserves, because I have written that those things which either are or can potentially be used as reserves are monetary base. So reserves are they are reserves. And what is currency? Currency are my potential reserves. So this is currency with public, currency held by public is also my monetary base. So my monetary base is equals to C plus R. Now for understanding monetary base in a better way, I should know about what do you mean by operating open market operations. What is open market operation? For that we have to understand there is RBI and commercial banks. There can be any other institution, but particularly commercial bank. So open market operations are those operations where RBI buys or sell securities. So RBI either purchases or sells security in the open market in order to affect money supply in the economy. So RBI purchases securities. I should write in this manner. RBI purchases securities from commercial bank, and in return RBI gives money to them. Okay, so RBI इनको कुछ क्रेडिट देगी, so that will increase money supply. When RBI purchases securities, it will lead to increase in money supply. On the other hand, if RBI sells securities, commercial banks will pay to RBI, and that will lead to a fall in money supply in the economy. Now, understanding it in a better way. So this is RBI. We have done that this lady deposits 100 rupees in bank and how it will multiply further. Now with the changed condition and RBI injecting money in the economy, RBI purchased some securities from commercial bank, and RBI is giving 900 rupees now. Okay, so with this woman depositing 100 rupees and this is 900 rupees, and RBI has to keep RR 20%, and now RBI also need to keep some excess reserves, let's say 10%. RBI also need to keep some excess reserves and required reserves. So RBI keeps that 30% with itself and give rest of the amount, which is 700 rupees, as loan to this person. Now this person also this person, let's say, okay, this person buys something 700 rupees. Now this person does not deposits this entire amount into bank. Okay, ye 700 rupees nahi deposit kara, because here also he is keeping something, some form of deposits into form of currency and then depositing rest of the amount. And similar will happen here. He will also keep something in form of currency and then depositing it back into the bank. Okay, so because we have relaxed the assumptions, it will also affect my overall result in the model. Okay, so we can also see, as there is a change in monetary base, it will lead to not only change in deposits, not only change in amount of deposits, but also a change in currency holdings. So we have to see that how much change in monetary base will affect change in deposits and similarly the change in currency. Okay, so for that I will study about what is the complete deposit multiplier, which shows it indicates the multiple by which a given change in monetary base, which is MB, will increase or decrease total banking deposits D. For this, I will look at MB is equals to C plus R, क्योंकि मैंने ऊपर यही कहा था. C was equal to CD into D and R is equals to RR plus ED into D by the above model, because C was equals to CDD and R was equals to RR EDD. Now, keeping D constant, okay, sorry, D is not a constant, these terms are constant and D is a variable. Now, I have to look at change in D due to MB. So what will be my total effect on deposits if my monetary base is this much? This much. Now I have to see that what is the change in deposits due to the change in monetary base. For that, I have to take derivative. So what will be the change in deposits due to the change in monetary base is this much. अगर मैं इसी टर्म का डेरिवेटिव निकाल लूं तो ये टर्म आ जाती है. ठीक है. Now what is this? This is this term is nothing but my complete deposit multiplier. Okay, now also try to understand this with the form of an example. Okay, with the help of an example. Now what I'm saying in this model, इस example में हम क्या-क्या assume कर रहे हैं. First is monetary base. Monetary base हमें 35,000 दिया हुआ है. Required reserve 20% है. Bank keeps 5% of their deposits in the form of excess reserves, yani ED is equal to 5%. Individual holds 25% of their deposits in the form of currency. That means this 25% is my CD, and I have to find out my total banking system deposits. Okay, so for that, I will use this formula. What will be my total banking system deposits? That will be equal to 1 upon CD EDRR into MB. Okay, so 1 upon CD. CD was 25%, ED is 5%, RR is 20%, and MB is 35,000 crores. And this would be 1 upon 0.5 into 35,000, which is 2 into 35,000 and 70,000. Now next part is, if RBI does an open market purchases of 10,000 crores. So what is this 10,000? This 10,000 crores is my change in MB. So what will be my total banking system deposits? Okay, what will happen to? So I have to look change in total banking deposits. So for the change, I need to change in D is equals to 1 upon this, वही formula है, change in MB. Now I'm not solving this again. This comes out to be 2. So 2 into change was 10,000. So 20,000 would be my change in deposits. Clear? Now, one more thing. If what we are saying, that there is an open market purchases. Okay, so because there was purchases, so our change in monetary base was positive 10,000. And if we say that there is a sale, there are open market sales. So in case of sales of securities, this will be negative 10,000 and change in deposits would be negative 20,000. Okay, so when we are purchasing assets, RBI is purchasing assets. In that case, there would be positive change, and otherwise there would be a negative change in case of sales. Also, now we have seen the effects of change in D on MB. Also, what we are looking at initially are simple deposit multiplier. Simple deposit multiplier was equals to 1 upon RR, and here my complete deposit multiplier was equals to 1 upon CD RR ED. So these are the new variables which we have introduced into this model. And also because we have added these two things, क्योंकि ये दो चीजें हम नई लेकर आए हैं इस मॉडल के अंदर, तो हमारा ओवरऑल मल्टीप्लायर इंक्रीज होगा या डिक्रीज होगा. सो विद अ वेरी बेसिक लॉजिक दैट इफ योर डिनोमिनेटर इंक्रीजेस, then your overall term decreases. Like if you are 1 by 2, 1 by 4, your denominator increases, your overall term falls. Okay, so if your denominator increases, your overall term fall, so your total complete deposit multiplier falls due to introduction of currency holding with public and excess reserves with the commercial banks. Okay, so now what are the excess reserves and currency held by public? Drain banking system reserves, resulting in fewer total deposits than would otherwise be the case. Okay, so we are saying that by the introduction of excess reserve and currency holding, your total banking system reserves drains. Okay, so how technically this happens, that people holds excess, bank holds excess reserves. So that means increase in excess reserves. This will lead to, this means that banks keep more in the form of reserves. ओके, सो इफ बैंक आर कीपिंग, अगर बैंक एक्सेस रिजर्व ज़्यादा रख रहा है, ठीक है, सो वो रिजर्व ज़्यादा रख रहा है, दैट मीन्स they are keeping less in the form of loan, and if they are keeping less in the form of loan, then lesser deposits will come for the next time period, and this chain will go on for the frequent subsequent time. Okay, and similarly, if a person is keeping high currency in the form of higher income in the form of currency, that means he or she is keeping less in the form of deposits, and thus this much amount will go as in the bank, and bank will keep uh, similar amount as in the form of reserves, and lesser amount for loan. So this will reduce loan in the next period, and subsequent deposits in the lesser deposits in the subsequent time period. Okay, so this shows that an increase in excess reserve or currency holding with public leads to fall in monetary base in the form in reserves from the next time period. ओके, देन ऑल्सो हमने कहा कि डिपॉजिट्स पर नहीं, करेंसी पर भी इफेक्ट पड़ता है. सो व्हाट विल बी माय कंप्लीट करेंसी मल्टीप्लायर इन दिस केस? फॉर दैट I have to see what is my currency holding. So MB is equals to plus C plus R, and now C plus RR ED D. ऑल्सो क्योंकि मैं ये करेंसी की टर्म्स में रखना चाहती हूँ, मैं करेंसी और मॉनेटरी बेस का रिलेशन देखना चाहती हूँ, सो आई विल कन्वर्ट दिस into C upon CD, because C was equals to CDD, so D can be written as C upon CD. So solving this will give me CD RR ED CD C, sorry, C. So C will be equal to CD upon CD RR ED MB. Okay, so this will be my change in this is my currency when my monetary base is this much, and if I want to see what will be the change in currency, it will be in the similar manner. This will be my change in currency when my monetary base changes. Clear? Okay, now because I have said that if there is a change in monetary base, this will lead to a change in deposits as well as a change in currency. This will collectively change my monetary base and monetary stock. Okay, so what will be my overall change in complete money multiplier? So money multiplier के लिए M is equals to C plus D. M is equals to C की जगह I will write CD RR ED into monetary base, which I have derived earlier, and for DD I will write this much, and MB. This will be 1 plus CD RR ED MB M. So this term is nothing but my complete money multiplier. Okay. Okay, so that's it. We have studied initially what is my simple deposit multiplier. I have looked that my simple deposit multiplier is this much, and then I relaxed few of the assumptions and got my simple deposit complete deposit multiplier as this much, and then I looked for what will be the change in currency holding with the change in monetary base, and further my complete money multiplier in this model. Okay, that's it. In the next video, we will be discussing about what are the determinants which affects CD, ED, RR, and MB, these variables. What are the determinants which affects your monetary stock, and how money supply curve is derived. Okay, bye bye.